Sorry. Yes.
I will give you a second.
Nope, I hit the button.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I think he will, in a sense, like, sidle up the sides and just kind of, like, give the polite cough. I'm here. Don't necessarily want to interrupt what you're doing, but also definitely need to interrupt what you're doing.
Catherine just kind of, like, looks up and just like, oh, hi. Good to see you. Thought you were off on a thing, I guess, suppose?
We have hit a roadblock.
Oh?
We believe you may be able to best assist us in this. Though, of course, I would never insist that you put yourself in danger for us.
No, that's fine. Not to be so nonchalant, I suppose. Are you... are you anticipating any live action, I suppose?
We don't know what to expect, frankly. Probably an altercation, if, what I imagine to be true is true.
Sure. Alright, let me get a few things, and I'll be right out.
Just like, I gotta get my purse, and I'm like, let me get my keys.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make me go on an adventure without my morning coffee.
I gotta put my face on. Hold on.
Yeah, so she kind of, like, returns to... She, like, walks into, like, the side chamber for a few moments, and then comes out with, kind of it's a lot less of, like, a purse and a lot more of, like, a satchel across her waist, and then something wrapped in cloth across her back that looks vaguely scabbardly.
Huh.
She says, alright, where are we headed, by the way?
Well, I guess first we'll gather the others, and then we'll make our way.
Oh, alright. Oh, sorry. No, continue.
We'll gather the others and then make our way to our true destination.
Which is?
What is is it like a cathedral? Is it like the cathedral?
It is officially titled the Grand Cathedral.
The Grand. Okay.
They weren't into subtlety.
Well, we're headed to the hidden basement of the Grand Cathedral. And then from there, God knows where.
Well, I suppose we'll see as it comes. Lead the way.
Away.
Alright. So yeah, it's a quick walk back to... I think you're probably meeting up again at the Spider's Den?
I mean, unless I've chosen... people could have been there with me if they wanted, but either way, it's like, we can gather and just... We go? We go to a place, yes, unless people have other things they want to do.
No, yeah, Spider's Den.
Alright. And then just from the Spider's Den, like, if you're ready, we're going back to the cathedral, like...
Mm-hmm.
You mean the sewers?
Well, yeah, through the sewers to the, like... expediting a little bit.
Yeah. Hey Matt, is there any chance you could be a little bit closer to your microphone? You're very quiet.
I can hold it up to my mouth. That's as close as I can get.
It is better.
Sounds good to me. I've got you, like, your volume fine for me.
Alright. Because I've got you at,
It's
like...
a little quiet for me, and I'm also, like, apparently dead tired, so... I mean, this is me speaking at a normal voice into my... basically straight into my phone.
Alright. Alright, so we'll move onward. On a brief journey, do I have... I definitely don't have a token for Catherine, do I? That's fine.
You can just
This is fine. Oh, that's the wrong map.
I know.
GM tools are weird. Having it up on two
I
screens
thought
is
I gave
funny.
her a token in like a folder that I gave everyone access to. But
This is close enough.
yeah, basically.
Not quite, but enough. All right.
Was your side with this?
Yes.
Yep.
Yosashi
always.
is beside Staldar all the time.
Attached to the hip. It's very like. Oh, that's interesting. We can talk about that later.
Yeah. So I think on the way here, like, Yosashi and Catherine just have like a brief conversation about
Nature.
probably the draconic deities, just like almost gossip, where
Oh
like
gosh.
like Yosashi's just kind of talking about like Bahamut, and then Catherine's just like, you know what I heard, and just like goes on off this like story about like Bahamut turning into a human surrounded by 7 canaries, and like being a like doing good, but in like the insufferable like haha I am the best kind of way. Yeah, that's that whole conversation, and then you arrive at the sewers, and you arrive through the sewers at the temple once more.
Alright. So, first things first, gotta figure out what we need for this. So I'd like to invite everyone and Catherine over to investigate.
I gave you control of the Urasashi token, didn't I? There you go.
Ah, there we go. Yep.
Sure. Yeah, so, Catherine begins to, like, kind of, like, looks at the symbols and is kind of, like, thinking about it for a while and is just like, alright, I'm not super familiar with the Arcana. I don't exactly know what this is for, but I am familiar with the words. And for reference, and she kind of like points at the script along the wall, is that this is infernal script, but this is not infernal. This is abyssal. Same letters, different language. And a few things. Give me a moment.
How is my mouse not being that strange? Oh, well.
No, that's fine. Yeah, so, I can give you a rough translation. It appears to be a bit of a list. Here. And across the wall, she kind of like writes this down in a notebook and gives it to you. It says, words of the wicked, blood of the pure, gem of the deceiver.
Oh. Okay.
So what would the pure?
What are any of the what like?
Well, the journal said something about wanting. Oh well, Chiefs hasn't read the journal. What am I talking about? You didn't allow him to read it.
I think we gave you a summary. I actually also don't remember directly the contents of the journal.
Well, I was assuming that the pure would be human, as the Archbishop was originally trying to make these tieflings human, rid them of their infernal heritage. So the blood of the pure would be a tiefling without.
That is one thing that is interesting about the script, though, is that so Abyssal and Infernal have some character overlap, meaning the text means different things in the two languages.
Uh-huh.
So, in Infernal, this would read Gem of the Savior, and blood of the sinner. Words of the enlightened.
That's not
Okay.
So,
Oh my
so
gosh.
what you're saying is it means it means opposite things?
Not quite opposite, just the demons and devils have different perceptions of things.
Definitely contrasting sentiments at the very least.
So, to the demons, what's a wicked thing?
It's a good question.
What's the difference between a demon and a devil? I don't know which, and I hate to ask this question, but which one are you?
I am devilish.
Okay.
Oh, thank
okay.
you.
Huh. Okay, okay. Ooh, we should look at this, I think, from the strict perspective of, seeing as this is all his. So I suppose it's up to us to determine what he would consider wicked, pure, and a deceiver. But he's also very confused, so this is... Oh, okay, okay. Oh god, a puzzle. Whatever will we do?
Well, what if he's a demon now, and he wants to hurt the tieflings? Maybe we should take the the demonish perspective?
Perhaps. Some of these I'm also confused. How does one manifest if they're ingredients? How is a word an ingredient in this scenario?
I'm not certain.
Where I come from, we use safe words all the time. Not in that context. We use code words.
All right. Oh no. Oh no, dude. Okay.
Catherine just kind of starts like looking around the place and just like, wow, this is a
Yeah, okay.
hell of a thing.
I want to go in here. I want to go in here. Let me...
Clench.
I'm trying to... my mouse is being weird. Hold on, like 2 seconds. This is not working. Like, this is
You sure
being
did drag
very-
yourself into the darkness.
It's, like... Why is this being weird? It's like... It's panning the thing around. Stop. What the fuck?
Make sure you have the right tool selected. So like this, select move and then pan view.
They're like... Yeah, I've got select move selected, but when I grab myself, it makes me go fucking crazy.
Weird.
What the fuck? That would piss me off just real fast. I just got really frustrated with that. I'm refreshing. Just let me fucking move myself. Son of a bitch. There we go. Oh my god, there we go. Okay, I want to go, not there. I'm trying to scroll up and move. I want to go up here.
Catherine?
Okay. Yes.
Are tieflings, are they devilish or are they demonish?
Devilish. They're from Baator.
I don't know.
Much like myself.
Are there any famous gems or special crystals they like?
To be perfectly honest, most will take whatever they can get their hands on. Wealth is of no small matter.
sorry. You can if you're still.
If the blood of the, in that case, if the blood of the pure, if they were taking the interpretation of the demons, then the blood of the pure would be demon blood, and we would need the blood of a demon?
I suppose that's possible.
Or then maybe we need to say something in Inferno to trigger everything. If the words of the wicked are supposed to be the opposite.
I want to start investigating all this stuff.
Sure. Would you like to get a glance around the room, or are you looking for something in particular?
I guess maybe initial glance.
All right.
Let's.
Give me some perception.
Fuck! I had my thing open, and then I scooted some stuff around because it was being fucky. Do you want just like, want me to roll or want me to just?
Yeah, just roll. Go ahead and roll perception.
All right. Oh, that was an 18. That's whatever my.
Wisdom plus perception.
Plus 4.
Sure.
Oh, so like a. Yeah.
22.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So, at first glance, I'm lowest perception score means you get the if you get above a 5, you get to know the name of the room. This is the prayer room. It's separated from the larger neatly tiled antechamber in the center by a kind of a beaded curtain with a larger gap in the center of it to allow for more stuff. So it's semi-private, but it is still largely connected to the rest of the room. There are these 5 tapestries along the one longer curved end of the wall that depicts in it these intricate, interwoven tapestries of deic history. So there's various pantheons described, the many gods. And then there's a larger prayer rug that you're currently on top of. And there are 6 smaller shrines to specific deities in the center of the room. With that high of a perception score, you can recognize some of them. The ones to the north are, on the left, Bahamut, in the center, Sofkut and Dafaket, and on the right, Tiamat. And on the south end of the room, you see 3 distinct symbols, though you're not quite certain what they each is representative of. There's a torch, there's a pair of hands holding a rose, and there is a mask.
And there is what?
A
That last
mask.
one? Mask. Okay. Interesting. Draconic deities. Interesting. Okay.
Chiefs never entered. Oh, sorry. Go on.
I'm just thinking. I guess, is there anything I recognize about the tapestries, or is it just kind of...
You can roll religion, if you would like to try and find out a little bit more.
Okay. An 8.
Yeah, you're not super well versed in, like, the variety of pantheons available for worship today. Only 1999. There you kind of get the idea that each of the tapestries depicts a different pantheon, and like it might be kind of a history, but you don't really figure out what refers to what. They're very well made. Very pretty.
Stelter appreciates the arts. Okay, if you have stuff you guys want to know, chew on this for a second.
You have anything, Amity?
I feel like true to Amity's form, he's just gonna kind of like stay and scream about things.
Alright. In that case, these Cheeps never got a look into this room.
God.
He takes a look in.
Do you want me to describe it again?
It was the surgery room, right?
Yes.
Okay, so... And Cheeps, like, stops dead in his tracks for a second. But, like, puffs up and begins slowly making his way. Is there...
Like a Ghibli, like, hair, like, scared, puff up hair, like...
Yeah. Are there any vials of blood?
There are. So remember, along the south end of the room, there are sets of horns and tails, followed by a small vial of red viscous liquid that has been labeled.
It's like tries to opens the cabinet, pulls the blood, and then runs out. I have the blood.
Just
I
like
think-
shouts down the hallway.
Yeah.
Catherine's just like, oh God.
Yeah.
God's above and below. Jesus.
I think this was somebody's blood. I don't like to think it was, but I'm just gonna pretend that it isn't.
Oh, great.
Um, yes, please take it away from me. I can take stab wounds, I can't take brick of gore. They were all dismembered and...
Amity, the vial is labeled Vanity Ekphaz.
Can you write that?
Sure.
Vanity, that's someone's name. That is somebody's fucking name. Oh god. Okay. Okay. I've got it. I think we're gonna go over here next.
Sure. Your Shashi actually lingers a bit around the Bahamut shrine, just kind of like looking at it, appreciating it for a little bit.
Yeah,
You think
of course.
you kind of hear that he might mutter something under his breath, and then he follows you.
Yoink.
So to go there, you did pass through the library, which is just like chock full. You didn't. Norgal's the only one who's seen any of these rooms. The library is. It's just. It is what it is. It's a bunch of bookshelves that are all chock full of like just thick tomes, thick with two C's, just thick tomes of knowledge. Looks well worn. There's a lot of stacks of books like on top of the bookshelves. It's not like super well organized, but there's a lot of them. And then past that is what you're in now is more of a classroom.
I wanna. I'll kind of work backwards. I'll do the classroom first, and if there's nothing like serious about, we can kind of backtrack into the library.
Sure.
So we'll do. Perception check. That was a natural 20.
Nice. So
Good today.
I think one of the first things you notice is that it looks very recently used. Like, it was literally hours ago the last time someone was actively using it. But yeah, there's a myriad of desks. There's like supplies, inkwells, pens, parchment, scrolls, etc. There's one larger desk at the front that has some materials onto it. There's a large like, yeah, chalk was invented. There's a chalkboard at the end of the hall room, that has kind of it looks like a brief lesson titled "Living with Integrity" on it, and just like some various points and notes and things. Yeah.
On the kind of, I guess, the mentor's desk.
Mm-hmm.
So there were some things. Anything of note?
There's some parchment with some writings on it. It looks like class notes, like structured, like lecture notes. There don't appear to be any real like books or anything like that. It doesn't look like there's any like no novels or anything like that. Teaching materials.
No. In that case, I think for the library, I'm looking for like anything that has a title or something. Like the wicked, the pure, or like deceit. Anything that's just standard.
Go ahead and make an investigation check. Also, I need to know what languages you speak.
Oh god. I only speak common.
Okay.
I'm rolling good today. What's going on? Where are all these rolls coming from? This is my new favorite dice. This pink one. This is the good one. The rest of y'all can get a bug. Then I get fucked over 5 million times. Let's go. Yeah.
All right.
Natural 20.
Yeah. So,
So I might not. Still on the basis of like I can't read certain languages.
Yeah, so the good thing is that you can read most of that. Like, most of these books are written in common. There are a few in Elvish, but it's almost exclusively common. So, let me think. You find a few. You find a book entitled just The Deceiver. Which is like you see and just like, aha, perfect. There is a book about morality. That's a lot more. It's a kind of an ethical debate on what is good and what is bad. Sorry, and the book The Deceiver is a archetypal analysis of myths of deceivers throughout history. So it's like, and so we see the myth of like this specific deceiver and like this one and how they apply their attributes to the archetype or not, or how they manifest in a different way. It talks about like Tiamat as a trickster god being a deceiver in some ways, but also being a like powerful entity in other ways and things like that. But one of the things that is maybe of note is that it talks about the deceiver as a performer in some ways or another. In that performer. In ways that they use their trickster abilities to show off to people and to present in a very like flamboyant manner.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Reading that book probably, and that's from a skim of the book that probably took you like, I'm gonna say a good 20 minutes, because like it is a thick book. It's like if you were attempting to digest the entirety of The Hero with 1,000 Faces in like an hour.
In that time, could I possibly turn this room inside out?
Which one?
The Archbishop's room.
Sure. What are you looking for? Here, let's resolve this a little bit first.
Okay, sorry.
So, yeah, that's what you find.
Okay.
Let me reread okay, this is a question for yourself.
Yeah. What's up?
What you understand about water?
Yes.
Is there a specific gemstone associated
With Bahamut? No. He's commonly associated with platinum,
with it?
but no gemstones really.
Would you happen to know about Tiamat?
Again, metals primarily.
Well, we're getting there. Yeah, we can go back.
Sure.
Shiny stuff. Gems.
Yeah, so I want you to make... Okay, what are you doing exactly?
Let's see. I am opening every cupboard, tossing every book off the shelf to see if there's anything hidden behind the books. I am flipping over the tables. E.T.
It's a very heavy table. I'm gonna need an athletics check.
Okay.
Unrelated.
Okay. Should I start with like a?
I just want to know if you can flip over the table. Like you can. There's enough space to like crawl underneath it and things like that. I'm just really curious if this bird can flip a table, like a solid oak table.
Let's see. I'm trying to roll the dice right now. It says rolling the dice, but it's not rolling the dice. Let me roll a different dice. Big dice.
Roll the dice now.
Sure is. Sure is cocked.
You know the natural toughness.
It was there, but
What was your
Cole said it
athletics?
was cocked.
It absolutely was cocked. You rolled it onto carpet. I don't know what you expected.
It's 18. That's an 18.
You have a +8 to athletics?
What was it? Oh yeah, expertise, motherfucker.
You have expertise in athletics? I mean, okay.
I don't know when I decided or why.
Sure. So like, everyone in the other parts of the temple just hears a little like ka-thunk, like come from the Archbishop's quarters at some point. Yeah, absolutely. There are now papers everywhere. And then just make a general. I'll say investigation check for this. Now that you're just like, yeah, you really are just turning the place upside down.
Come on, roll for me. Ooh, that's good. 20. Oh wait, it's a. Is my roll not showing?
Are you not connected?
No, I'm not. That should be a 23, anyways.
Cool. Yeah. So you find. I guess I want to say a few things of note. You already found his second journal. Last session. You find a non-zero amount of money. Like, none in gems, but just like, I want to say it was like under his bed. It was just like a little chest with like, I'm gonna say like 40 platinum in it.
I'm gonna say,
Oh my gosh.
I always knew the fucking donations were bullshit. And then starts taking the coins.
Fair. You find a dagger underneath his desk. It's got kind of a warped blade. It's just kind of like wiggly. Nothing special about it other than shape. I'm thinking that like the knife, the Ice Queen used in Narnia, if I'm remembering correctly. Lots of papers with words on them, just all over the place, and also like, yeah, a lot of books, like books that are either written by him, are full of just kind of like theology, broadly speaking, or otherwise like notes about things. I don't know how much you do reading in this, so much as you're just looking for valuables.
Cheeps was just looking for gems and shiny things.
It's true.
Looking for the gem.
He's a very nice quill and inkwell. It's got like a little silver rim across the top.
Maybe that would make my drawings better. Just put it into the bag.
It's not the tools that make the artist, Chiefs.
You don't know that. Also, I take the knife.
All right. Plus 1 daggers for Chiefs. How many daggers do you have right now?
Well, non-magical ones, 5.
5. All right, cool. All right.
Total.
All right. So, Amity, you up to anything?
Not really sure what to do with this.
Well, we need to figure.
I was trying to think what these things could possibly.
Well, there is in the first journal. All praise me for all I've done this day. Glory to me, savior of Kyla, was in the first journal, that phrase. So he could be the savior, supposedly. A little braggadocious
Yeah.
insistence.
I have a feeling that a lot of these things are based around, at least the non. Well, even the blood could be based on it. Like, we don't necessarily know for a fact that the blood, like this ability,
How many vials of blood were there in that room?
I think I said a dozen? Roughly? Just under a dozen?
Were they each labeled?
Yep.
The same as that one?
Mhm.
Is there like a list?
I have some names. Vanity, Doom, Hope, Purity, Sorrow, Joy, and Spite. Some of the other ones are illegible.
I'm gonna take a fucking gamble and say we should use the one purity.
And they're all full. Same
I don't know
volume.
if it's like this.
Yes.
Okay.
well, the dumb thing is that if this isn't going to go bing bong boom as we get the right items in the right slot. We have to line them all up with the works, and if we fail, one of the items is wrong, we just belong one type.
Maybe. Potential. We will find out.
I mean, you're still holding the blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just,
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. We gotta get all the stuff together first. To even try it. What? Okay, so these are like little. There's a prayer mat, and then what's in front of the prayer mats?
So there are 3 shrines at the bottom, much like the shrines to Bahamut, Safkut, Safket, and Tiamat. Tiamat. But they are symbols that you personally don't, or at least don't immediately recognize. There's a torch on the left, a pair of hands holding a rose in the center, and a dramatic mask on the right.
Are they each made of like a certain? Like, describe a shrine.
All 6 shrine. It is effectively a pedestal with a small statue at the top of it. Either shrine.
Sorry, say that one more time.
With a small statue carved into the top of it. They're both the pedestal and the statue are made of a single piece of marble, They have things like little incense containers and candles and places to put small offerings on them, like built into them.
Okay. Catherine,
Yes?
how much do you know about these symbols?
I'm not super up on my modern deities, but I'll take a look. One moment. Oop. All right. Not particularly. I do recognize the center one. That is the symbol of Nephthys, the goddess of grief. She's the one that people usually appeal to at funerals and the like.
Impressive. I'm actually kind of interested in the mask. I'm just like deceived. Like a mask feels like that alone feels like a very deceptive symbol. Oh god. Okay.
Urasashi notes your intrigue and just kind of starts eyeing it up. It could be something, I suppose.
So can I move the shrine around? Is there
Would you like to try?
yeah.
Alright. So you kind of plant your hands on kind of the statue, I suppose? Describe to me what you would like to try doing physically.
I'd like to maybe rotate.
So just kind of like gripping it and like...
Right. Kind of on the base, question mark?
Sure. So you kind of like take hold and like kind of move it, and then you note that there's a little wiggle room between the mask statue and the base that isn't true for some of the other shrines. It appears that the statuette on top of the pedestal is able to rotate in one form or another.
Yeah, I mess around with that then? Just
Yeah.
kinda very gently.
Yeah, so the mask facing you is bearing a bit of a smile. And then you can turn it all the way around until it's much more of a neutral kind of expression, I suppose you would say. You can turn it like a full 180 degrees. And then you hear a sharp click come from the antechamber to the west. Yeah. And moving over there, you can see that one of the tiles has sprung up a little bit away from the others.
Okay. Sprung up. So is there now kind of a lip that I can
Yeah.
lift it? Or...
Yeah, so you can get your claws underneath it and kind of it looks like it's on a hinge actually, and you can kind of lift it up away from the rest of them, and there's a compartment beneath the tiles. Yeah, so there's a few things.
Alright.
There's a bundle of clothing, which is a little odd, and there is a puppet in the shape of an elf wearing priestly robes.
Oh, okay. I hate that, by the way. That's bad. But, are there any, markings or symbolatry on clothing? Anything interesting? Or is it just kind of...
It doesn't appear to be religious. It just looks to be plain clothes. and small ones at that.
Oh, and nobody here would really like actively recognize the archer.
Amity did surveillance on him.
Oh, Amity. Okay. Yeah, I'll bring the puppet on. Does this at all look familiar to you?
Does it look familiar?
It's the same outfit that the Archbishop wears on his regular administration.
Investigate this puppet?
Absolutely.
No, I cannot.
What'd you get?
Let's see. Of course, it's a flat zero. So that's a flat success.
All right. Yeah. So you don't really need perception to recognize that it's likely the same person, or at least from a clothing perspective. But other than that, it is a puppet. Probably a marionette.
So is it just like wooden?
Yes, like wooden, and then you get the sense that some of it is like sewn together and stuffed with straw. Pretty typical puppet construction.
I'm gonna do something a little bit weird.
Mhm.
The parts that are like sewn and stuffed,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna straight up rip that
All right. Yeah. So you eviscerate this puppet, and as you do, a dense but heavy onyx sphere
Oh,
falls out of the center and clatters onto the stairs below you.
oh jeez, I didn't expect something to just like roll out. I grab it.
Skitters after it.
Yeah.
Stoldar, this is something that likely only you might recognize.
Oh. Is it explain.
You've seen this object before.
Okay.
Um,
Do you want to keep it like secret? You want to like give me a little?
sure, I'll boop you. I'll boop you a little message.
How am I?
What is the connection?
What are you rolling for? What are you just rolling?
I was gonna investigate the onyx sphere.
A 9's not bad. You can recognize that it's an onyx sphere. As someone from the Underdark, you're very familiar with like stones.
You cut out a great deal for me because all I heard was as someone from the Underdark stones.
Yep, that's about it. No, so you, as someone from the Underdark, you're familiar with stones and would be able to recognize that with a 9 anyway. You'd be able to recognize that it is onyx.
To see what I can decipher and onyx. Hey, fucking 19, motherfucker.
On Arcana? Yeah, so onyx is a material typically used for enchantments. It's it's the kind of thing where it can hold. It's a longevity stone. It may not be able to hold as powerful enchantments as more proper gemstones, but it can hold them for a very long time and very effectively. Sure. It does appear to be lightly enchanted. I believe the enchantment would be the mode of magic, which you would be able to identify with detect magic. As the school of magic to which that would be. Yes, enchantment.
So.
You would have to identify.
Yes.
Well, regardless, I think we've got our gem. Stoller just drops the puppet on the fucking floor. This is useless now. So,
I think we need to look forward.
yeah, I'm definitely still not like one hundo on what the words would be enlightened and slashed wicked.
What was written in the second journal?
Hmm?
What was written in the second journal?
It was a diary, effectively. It was
No.
day-to-day stuff.
No. So nothing. No specific chants or little bits of scripture.
No, nothing that specific.
Okay.
I believe he stated his intentions to accomplish some sort of ritual, and then it cut off.
There's a bunch of paper. There's a bunch of paper in his office. Didn't really look at it, but you can look at it.
All right. Yeah, we can do. I think we investigated it before, but we can just do like. We'll say this is like a find.
Finals.
Yeah.
Specifically looking for keywords.
I mean, yeah, you've got like his second journal. I don't know if you still have his first journal is with Malfeasance, because she did not give it back to you, nor did you ask for it, and yeah. So there's the second journal. There's a tome of theology from him specifically, and there's just a bunch of like entirely incomprehensible notes.
Can I would like to further investigate the tome of theology?
Sure. Go ahead and make a religion check to see if you kind of understand it.
It's very dark in here also. It's 13.
All right. Yeah, you definitely get the basics across. A lot of the theology involved herein is that if one devotes their life to a single deity, they're missing out. They're either missing out or effectively disregarding the others. So within his concept of theology, one must worship all of the gods or none of the gods. And if one chooses none, then that's a mistake. That's bad. Not ideal. Yeah, pretty close to that. With a 13.
All right. Stoller tosses that over his shoulder and is just like tripe. Well. Okay. Best guess right now, we at least have perhaps what was meant by blood of the pure and gem of the deceiver. Words of the wicked, I can only imagine, are must be, I don't know if the specific words, activation words, just any words spoken in a specific language.
I don't know, and I'm not particularly convinced. We're looking at this in the abyssal version, because I think we need to be seeing this from how he would view this, and he would view this as blood of the sinners and gem of the savior. Or maybe, I don't know.
So words of the enlightened. So what's the? So words of the enlightened, gem of the. Wait. So that.
Words of the enlightened, blood of the sinners, gem of the savior, if you're reading it that way.
Yes.
He is the archbishop. I would assume he would consider himself the savior. The only weird thing is, though, that I could see it being seen as like this puppet is a deceiving thing somehow.
In the end, the
The gem is correct. I think either way the gem is correct. So, is there a certain order that these should be placed in? Oh wait, we know the order because we found the shard and it's like stained and there's a shard in one of these.
Yeah. You remember that. Yeah. So you can now, like, thinking back to the piece that you had, it was almost definitely a shard of an onyx sphere.
Right. Yeah. So I will place the gem where I found that first shard.
As you place it there, the ring glows, as does the third line of text.
Fucking Christ.
Sweet. Right. Then whoever has the blood, I guess, I think they might have to pour it out over the ring because I think there's a stain there, or maybe place the bottle and see what happens.
I'm just gonna place the bottle.
Yeah.
The second ring glows, and the second line of text also glows. The first ring and the first line of text grow a little bit brighter.
Cat, not now. Do not start. I'm just worried. My fear now is that we just don't know the words, or maybe the words don't matter as long as some words are said. It's difficult to know.
Maybe they just need to be infernal words or abyssal words. Any of them?
Catherine's behind you, is just like, I can do either, and see if that works. I could just read the line out loud, I suppose.
Should we be standing inside the circle when we do that?
I told you I'm not the most proficient on the arcane side of things.
Well, if one has to be foolhardy and stupid, I guess it's gonna.
I mean, all or nothing, right? I think if we're gonna do that, it's gotta be all of us. Oh God. Oh.
It's gonna be a good time.
He just, like, slowly stands next to Staldar.
If I'm being sent to oblivion, I want this too bright and
And then, yeah, I guess Catherine can choose where she would like to be. I guess she would want to stand.
I think she's actually, like, standing a little outside the circle.
All right.
Just to be like, all right. Kind of looks at the wall and is just like, all right. I don't know if my accent's still off, but I guess we'll find out.
Oh, Catherine, please.
Alakthana du huevo queta. And then nothing happens. And she goes, oh, okay. Then the abyssal. Alakthana du hach dadada. And then also nothing happens.
Catherine, Chiefs is going to mimic both while standing in the circle.
Same effect.
Damn.
Although, Catherine is impressed.
I'm doing it in Catherine's voice.
Yeah, I know. That's why she's impressed. As someone who imitates people in other ways,
Oh, yeah.
she's impressed.
What was that tome of theology that you were reading? Can we pretend?
Pretend? Pretend what exactly?
Or pretend it's wicked? I don't know. Maybe the second journal, but which are you going for?
Unclear. Just trying anything at this point.
Catherine, which should we try?
Which of what? I don't follow. I honestly, I don't, I'm pretty undecided either way.
Could you elaborate on what you mean by try the abyssal or try the infernal? We just did that.
Yeah, but we don't have something in the final spell slot.
Oh, in the final little circle?
If I were to make a guess, I would guess that one of these two ways would be the way that it is, the way the spell works, the way it is truthful, and the other would be the way that he believed it to be.
That makes sense to me, but that doesn't really give me an answer.
I apologize. I doing my best. Haven't been in an adventuring party in a few hundred years.
God damn it, Cat.
Okay, back in the library, could I recognize any texts as like these texts are in Abyssal or Infernal or anything like that?
There didn't appear to be any, just common and elvish.
I'm gonna try a thing.
Sure.
Right?
I'm gonna sling my little knapsack on my shoulder with my hands. I'm gonna rip it open. I'm gonna grab his second journal out of there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna kind of like lightly toss it into the first spell slot and see if that works.
The circle glows, and the first line of text likewise glows.
Ooh.
And now that all three are glowing, the color turns from the kind of inky black and white, like the ink it was written in, into more of a red. And you feel a coalescence of energy forming in the center of the four of you.
Oh god.
Yeah, that's pretty much where my head's at too.
Oh god.
Slowly, a small rift appears to form betwixt the four of you. And it appears as just like a little crack at first. And then it starts growing just a little bit bigger and bigger and bigger. And it now appears as an oval, spanning vertically. And it continues to expand until it is roughly, I'm going to say 8 feet tall and 4 feet wide. And there is a bit of a vortex swirling inside of it. It appears as a two-dimensional plane there in the center of the room between, and like on one side you can see this kind of vortex, and then you go to the other side and it just looks like an empty circle that you can see through.
I'm gonna quickly toss a little copper coin in it.
You hear kind of a like bzz, and then disappears.
Oh, that's not an encouraging noise, but kind of like look back to Catherine and be like,
I'm fairly certain that's what it's supposed to do. Like I said, I don't do the arcane very often.
Want to go on a field trip?
To be honest, not particularly.
Fair enough.
Tell you what, if you all want to go ahead, I can stay here to ensure that if your companions come looking for you, I can point them in the right direction.
That would actually be highly appreciated.
All right. I'll be here.
Everybody, I'm just gonna tell everybody and says, well, see you in hell, and steps through.
Oh, well, alright.
All right. There's a similar like vzz, as Amity steps through the rift, and Catherine just kind of looks and just like, well, best of luck. Break a leg, I suppose. And she kind of turns and like unwraps the equipment across her back and stands there with a bit of a staff tipped with a sickle blade.
Just like dips his finger into the portal,
It's like,
pokes his head through.
and then you get sucked through the rest. And then immediately, as soon as like your beak touches it, you just get sucked through the rest of the way.
Oh my gosh. Alright. Well, seeing that, Scarlet kind of gives like Yosashi a look like, holds his arms out and like, after you?
Sasha's just like, well, this will be a hell of a time, and walks through the portal. He like grins and like winks at you before he goes through.
Scholar shakes his head and then just kind of like gives Catherine a salute and also goes to the portal.
All right.
Oh no, oh what the hell? To follow? I'm disappointed,
Scholar doesn't do puns. That's
All right. So,
now we're all in hell. Great.
So, well, that's the thing. I would like to describe the trip, so to speak. It is mostly instantaneous, with roughly 15 seconds between of the feeling that you are falling through air and going faster than you have ever in your life. You feel like you are being stretched thin, and that you have somehow doubled in weight and mass on your way. And then you come to an immediate stop as your feet touch jagged rock for ground, and your ears detect once they're done ringing. Your ears detect a mild rumbling, one might say. And you are in what is visually a cavern lit like dotted with small crystals glowing reds and oranges and yellows.
Wait, crystals you say?
Crystals.
Crystals you say?
I need to drop everyone in here.
I guess I'll ask, how did everyone fare?
I would like everyone to make a Constitution check,
Oh
or
my God.
specifically a Constitution saving throw.
That's not fair.
Can't get my-
Rolling a DF,
I mustn't say.
more like rolling a DTF. Am I right, folks?
Oh, God.
I rolled a 12.
Oh, I did real bad. I rolled 5.
Yeah, that's a +0 now, so let's see what I get.
Daughter's fucking
Not bad.
growing up. Daughter's
Um,
fucking jacking.
I think that that's true. And your Sashi's fine, so he's just like patting you on the back, like, are you okay? Do you need help? Are you fine? Do you no?
She
No.
just starts like, he's not barfing, but he's shivering, and then just starts kissing the ground for some reason.
I think regardless regardless of how Amity first reacts, he is laughing.
Could you drag your token onto the scene?
Oh yes, of course.
All right.
I should probably do this
That's fine. Yeah, so you see an identical circle here. Sorry?
Sorry, I started talking.
What were you saying, Amity?
I was just saying, like, Amity by somehow has like shot himself with this guy.
Slingshot, and just like you launch yourself out of the portal. All right.
So in this cave, does everybody here have dark vision? Can we see that? Or not?
Neither of the Dragonborn do,
I
and
do not.
Cheeps also does not. But it is. I did say it was lit with crystals across the warm color spectrum. So there is dim light throughout the cave system.
Do stuff because you like it. No cast Dancing Lights.
Cool. What does that do? Describe it.
Oh, yeah.
Visualize it. Paint a picture with words.
Yeah.
I think you know when you watch people like juggle orbs in one hand. I think that's what Amity does to like conjure up like 3 orbs. He kind of just like lets them hover about.
Oh, I was gonna say, did you just like, are you just like doing like fushigi ball shit with these like orbs? Like, do you know what those are? It's like,
Vaguely, yes, I am, but only to create them. And after that, they're like circularly orbiting around.
All right.
So, I'm gonna go and like clink one of these crystals, try and just see how's the hardness on these things.
Well, they're very hard, very firm, very stuck in the wall, and they're also very hot.
Oh. Just licks his finger like, that hurt.
The crystals, sure. Either or. Ha, or. Or.
I would like to nature because that's got some bonuses. Hey yo, that's
Nice. Yeah, so these are, you've heard of them, but you've never seen them before. They are, how should I refer to them? They're colloquially referred to just as, like, hot rocks. Although the, like, technical term, you've never actually heard, so that's the translated term for them, but they're always referred to as hot rocks in Abyssal, which has a different pronunciation. So it's more like Hargklarg. Sure, that's what they're called now, is Hargklarg. And yeah, so you hear to them referred to as that, but never seen them before. They're just crystals. They're full of energy typically. If you break them, they're supposed to like shatter with an amount of energy.
Oh. So what you're
But
saying
like
is
they're
explosive.
pretty useful. I mean, maybe. No one's seen them before. You never know.
force rather than heat. But we can figure that out.
Yeah.
Keep starts.
You can see a small staircase to the south and a second passage
How's
to the
the
east. of the
architecture?
caves.
How's the architecture on these stairs?
Natural. It looks like these were dug out of the cavern. Should probably have
I feel
different
like
music.
Omni feels like he's at home a little bit here, so he's definitely like poking around, like looking around, just like walking with abandon.
That would be almost true. But especially from the sense of how the rocks look and are positioned, this is definitively not the Underdark.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he definitely recognizes that. It's just that, like, ooh, I'm in a cave again. Like, this feels familiar.
Alright.
What can we see down this
Yeah.
right passage?
So you can see into an additional cavern. And you see what looks like a framed painting on the ground, and some additional mounted paintings on the walls.
Cheeps is saying, I'm gonna take a look down here. I'll be right back. And I will, enter stealth mode. I'm in. Alright, so, not really, but I just start peeking around, looking.
Sure. You can do a little bit of sneaking around. I'm gonna just go ahead and reveal this area.
Okay. Do I find any paintings that have, say, a sun that's being eclipsed?
Go ahead and roll investigation. So, you can see a few things. There is a couple of framed paintings just kind of lying on the ground, oddly enough. Several more that appear to be pinned to the wall by various attachment points. Sometimes they're nails, sometimes they're more like spikes. Sometimes they look kind of like thorns. But otherwise attached to the walls. And most of them appear to be of the same landscape, but from different angles.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like you to make investigation and perception.
Or perception?
And perception.
Okay. So, investigation... 20.
All right.
And perception, let's see what I can do. Oh, right, that's the same. 24.
All right. So, you find a painting of the same landscape, upon which in the background is depicted a fully eclipsed moon, all the way in the back over here. Let's see if I can indicate. Here. Down a very short hall.
How large is it?
It's about like 3 by 3 feet.
Could I stuff it into my bag if I...
If you tried really hard, I think so.
Yeah.
But with your perception check, there is something that I think would be of note. Within these landscapes, you see what appears to be the silhouette of a single person in one of the paintings.
The painting I'm looking at, or...
No, it's one of the ones mounted on the wall over here.
There's a silhouette of a person?
Yes. Oh, I can't see that on my screen. That's fine. On the north side of the room.
So, I just sort of pick up the painting I'm looking at, and I'm just like trying to think, what do I do now? I take out my obsidian dagger and start murmuring. Do I do something with it now? I just like tap it. Nothing.
Doesn't appear to be any effect currently.
Sheep's just kind of stuffs it in his bag as best he can.
So you turn around. Oh God. You turn around from the small hallway, to face the painting across from you, and you now notice that the figure is now also in that painting, and is closer to you, closer to the image of the framed painting.
Sheep's takes a dagger, his dagger of throwing, and throws it at the silhouette with a scream.
Yeah. So, as you do that, the dagger disappears into the painting.
Oh my fucking god.
And then tumbles, as you can see, in an impressionist style, through the air until it lands into the grass of the painting, somewhere farther out. And then you see the figure very slowly walking closer to the frame of the painting.
Oh god, oh god. Yeah, I'll say hearing that scream. Yeah.
So wait, my dagger just missed him?
Yeah, because, so you can throw a dagger pretty far.
Oh,
you
oh,
can't
but-
throw a dagger like hundreds of feet.
Oh, that far
I didn't
away.
think you were intending to anyway.
Oh, I wasn't intending to throw it.
You were intending to throw a dagger at the painting, which you did.
Well, I was actually intending to throw it at the silhouette, but hundreds of feet away, that's out of range.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. What was the rule? What were the rules you said for the dagger of throwing?
It didn't make it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Cheeks is everything
This painting, this is moving towards me. There's...
So, step away from it, I would say pretty...
Yeah, like if you stick it.
But I threw my dagger into it, and now the dagger's in there, and I want my knife back.
I swear to God, if you decide to crawl inside of a painting or retrieve a knife that we can get you another one of, I will set the painting on fire and leave this place.
Okay. Like hides behind Amity. Looks at another painting.
It's a very nice landscape.
Ooh. I don't know why this.
Like, have a weapon ready. I don't know if I'm gonna, like, ready a spell for, like, something to appear from that.
We could say Staller's gonna kind of take the lead on that and just like summon Filchiati. Oops, I've got this one. Like Filchiati in hand, like looking at these paintings, like what the fuck is this bird talking about? Like,
It's
No, there's some nice landscapes.
it's-
One of them has a figure in it.
that one's following me.
all right, like
You see a painting with a figure in it.
yeah.
Hides behind Stallar.
Can you see the knife in the painting?
Yeah, like
It disappeared into the grass when Jeeps threw it.
It was in the grass. It flew into the grass.
I don't know what to tell you. I don't see anything. But why don't we just move along? This is.
But no, it went in. It went in the painting.
Listen. I don't know where we are or what's going on. It's not that I don't believe you, but we have other things to take care of. So until this becomes an issue, let's just move on, because I don't know what to do about this.
Okay.
We will replace the knife. Just don't fret about it.
Alrighty. Goodbye, dagger of throwing +1.
So as you near closer to the exit of this room, Cheeps, you feel a bit of a rustling in your bag.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
And then just like this arm made of ink just like bursts out of the back of your bag and just like grabs the top of your head, and then another one comes out and grabs your shoulder and just starts like pulling you backward.
What?
Stop
I don't
immediately.
like.
Wrist.
I would like everyone to roll initiative. Actually, sorry, we don't really need initiative for this. I'm gonna let people act in turn as they do in a narrative fashion, because that's a lot more interesting for this scenario specifically.
Knife
So,
into
yeah.
the arm. Knife wailing into the arm.
Yeah, so Cheeps, you pull out it immediately, like instinctively, like dagger out, like into it, and it just. So you've knifed a lot of things in your day. This feels a lot like plunging a knife into snow or mud, in that it just kind of like goes in and just kind of sticks there.
Ooh, it's not working. It's not working.
And
Scholar.
yeah, as you do this, you can see like more and more of a figure made out of this inky, paint-like substance emerging from your bag.
I'm just.
Hit it with your sword! Hit it with your sword!
Scholar's gonna like grab like the like shoulder strap and just like fucking rip it off her body. Like just like grabs it, yanks it, throws it off of
Yeah, so the bag goes flying out into the rest of the room. But as the arms are still mostly attached to Cheeps, you now see a figure from roughly the chest up slowly coming out of this 3x3 foot painting with its arms like tightly like wrapped around Cheeps's figure.
like Stoller's like doing his damnedest to get between like Cheeps and this thing, like ripping with his claws,
Yeah.
just doing whatever he can to like push this thing off, because
So you definitely try, but the weird thing is when you try and like separate the two, it just kind of stretches.
oh my gosh,
Like silly putty, I want to say, like just kind of like stretch.
ew, what is this Bendy in the ink machine? Like,
Yes.
God, okay.
I dispel magic.
Absolutely. Okay. What is I'm trying to remember what exactly that does.
So,
It dispels magic. I know.
yeah, choose one creature, object, or magical effect within range. This fucking shit. Any spell of third level or lower on the target ends. For each spell of fourth level or higher on the target, make an ability check using the spellcasting ability. DC equals 10 plus the spell's level. On a successful check, the spell ends.
At higher levels, you can make it so a higher spell slot automatically fails.
Right. Okay. I would like you to make that roll.
What do I need to do to cast that as a 5th level spell?
Just use a 5th level slot. That's all. It's all the difference is that it would use a 5th level slot.
Okay, so I'm gonna do that. Do I need to continue to make that?
No. It's exactly what you need. So as soon as you do that, this like ink just kind of falls to the ground. Just like figure like it as soon as you cast that spell, it goes limp. Now like probably from about the waist up out of the painting. And it just kind of dissolves further. It starts like slowly seeping outward into more like of a liquid texture.
So, I really need to set the scene for myself.
Yes.
Of like, when I cast Dispel Magic, I say something along the lines of like, be on to me. And I think, like, as I'm like pointing my staff towards it, like, I like the flavor of like, as chill as I do.
Sure.
As, like,
Absolutely. Yeah, channeling a little bit of your inner primordial. Definitely. Yeah.
It was all squishy and muddy.
It's a little bit's like in your feathers.
Yeah,
Wipe
same
it
as,
off.
like, Dollar immediately, like, as soon as, like, the immediate danger has passed, he's just, like, he's got, like, a little, like, handkerchief out, and he's just, like, trying to, like, scrub away some of the inky ichor, whatever the fuck you would, like...
It's
consider
paint.
that.
It's just paint.
It's just straight up paint.
Yep.
It's just,
Like oil paint. It's actually pretty high quality.
He's just kind of like doing his best to like get some of the heat off. Hello. What? Hello.
You just missed the weirdest fucking shit.
Oh my
Of course
God.
I did, because it's me.
literally freaked me the fuck out.
That was scary as shit.
Did I literally miss it by like a minute?
Okay, so
Literally.
if she's entering through the portal right now.
Well, I'll figure it out.
Okay.
Wait. Okay. Wrap it up a bit.
No. We'll get there. Don't worry. We'll get there.
You've come at an inopportune time, to be honest.
Okay, fear. The thing is, I'm not
Um,
gonna be able to play because it's just gonna be bus sounds for like 40 minutes.
That's okay.
Well,
Don't worry too much about it. We're not going to continue for too much longer.
we'll catch up to speed when it's.
Okay. Just continue and I'll try and catch up, although I'm not gonna know shit. But otherwise,
That's all right.
Continue.
That's in character.
Fair.
But yeah, he's like helping you get as clean as you can in the moment, and it's just like, you, let's stick together.
Okay.
We are not separating ever again, as far as I'm concerned.
No, don't look at that. Don't worry about that.
She's
Let's fuck out of here.
okay.
I like that.
Cheeps, would you like to keep the painting?
Yes.
All right.
Cheeps grabs his bag, takes a painting, and like, well, it's gone, so no problem.
And as you put it into your bag, you do notice that the figure is no longer in the bag, or in the painting.
Okay, picture's gone. It's all gone. Everything's okay.
And as soon as you pull the painting out of the room, like past the threshold of the entrance, you note that all the other paintings of the same landscape desaturate.
Ooh.
They go from being these like nice, vibrant painted colors to black and white.
Oof. God, that's gotta lower the value on them. I'm not gonna sell this for now.
All right, so Dahlia, you
Hello.
were at the temple with Cien and a few other attendants helping you cast. So it turned out that casting Commune was a little bit more arduous than you thought it might end up being. And as a result, you kind of sent Cien along to like let them know to do what they can while you do some things. Some other priestly business got you occupied for a little bit. And then when you got back to your temple, Catherine was gone. And then
What the fuck did you do, my girlfriend?
one of your attendants was just like, oh yes, that nice dragonborn man who comes in every once in a while requested her help with a matter, and they went off.
Do you know where?
I was told just back. I'm sorry, I'm not one to eavesdrop so much.
Alright, that's fine. We're just out of there.
Yeah. So then I think you do a little bit of the runaround wherein you go to the spider's den and the people at the spider's den tell you that they went to the temple. And then you follow your tracks back through the sewers to the temple. And then you're in the lower levels of the temple, and Catherine is there. Although she's not in her typical attire, she's in something that's a bit more adventure-y. She has this kind of like equipment satchel, and she's holding a spear that's tipped with a sickle blade. Looks more like. You know that she had it, but you've never really seen her like wield it before. Looking very like warriorly in this moment. But you arrive, and she's kind of standing near the stairs in the temple to the lower section. And you notice that there sure is a big glowing circle down there. And she's just like, oh, good, I'm glad you made it back. So there was a thorough investigation of the temple, and your friends have gone through there. And I stayed here to make sure that if anyone came by, I could direct them that way. So they're just through there if you want to know where they are. Everyone seems to be safe. No one's really questioned anything. How are you doing, by the way? You look wonderful.
I can't do this. I'm trying not to get hit by cars. Yeah, I'm doing okay.
It's just yeah, just stand. It'll be fine.
Okay. Yeah, I trust that. And I'll step on the circle and just kind of throw a peace sign, I guess.
Yeah. So after that, you are whirlwind transported in one way or another. I'll roll a Constitution check for you.
I have a plus in your constitution,
All right. Good to know.
so it's gonna be bad.
You got a 17, so not too bad.
Okay, I was gonna say I brought dice with me. Rolling on grass.
Don't worry about it
See
too
a
much.
little-
In
you
the
do see,
dark.
like, a little puddle of vomit, just like in the corner as you arrive.
Slight judging.
Yeah, but you are suddenly in a darker cavern of jagged rock that's lit by these various crystals of reds and oranges and yellows, dimly lit. And you don't really see any of your companions immediately. And then you can see it is dim light, not no light, just dim light. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
It's up with you. Fucking Christ.
You just hear Amity swearing from a far off cavern.
You could hear like minor kerfuffle. Like,
I was gonna say, in the very, like, it's a very, very faint, but called out, watch your fucking blank. Very faint, but it's there.
yeah. Oh, man, I keep doing that on accident. Shit. Let me fucking. Yeah. I'm trying to select me for Sashi.
It's so cold.
Aw.
Yeah, I'll say, oh my gosh, just move. There we go.
Then very shortly you see Staldor and Yorsashi come into view,
And
followed by Cheeps.
whose eyes are very wide. He's looking a bit dirty and shivery, like he's seen some shit.
Yeah, everyone.
Don't bring me to an art museum again.
She's very confused. But she has no idea how to respond.
The painting attacked me. It came out of the painting. It was black and gooey and like paint, and it grabbed me and it was pulling me.
We've dealt with it. Let's not get all riled up again. That was
Do we need healing?
No.
Of the mental variety.
If you said something I couldn't hear it, I'm literally on the highway right now.
Of the mental variety.
Yes.
I still didn't hear it, but okay.
I will type it.
Okay. I'm on max level. I'm literally walking on a major road right now. Trying to get to the goddamn concert.
but now that this crisis has been averted, shall we move along?
Yes.
Fear.
Much fear.
No, I'm just gonna follow you. Just text me up when you can. Because that sounds weird, and I don't like dealing with weird.
Alright,
So you walk down this zone of natural steps and see to your left an additional set of steps leading up into an area that you can't quite see into. You see something that looks roughly like posts, just kind of scattered about the room. Then another staircase down, and then just kind of a narrow passageway to the right.
So we're still in like caverns surrounded by these crystals.
Yep.
Alright.
Alright, we'll take a peek over this way.
Yeah, so you can see the passageway widen out a little bit with the addition of a large stone door.
Okay. Spell will kind of like take a position behind.
I was gonna say, do you want me to come with you?
Sure.
I don't know if there's an app, so you're just gonna have to kind of play with me.
I got you.
Wait for me there, but,
Yeah. I got you.
I'll just kind of like be in the back, like know what's going on.
I'm like shimmying up the stairs with my back against the wall.
I'm gonna do the exact same thing because I have no idea what the fuck is going on.
I love that visual.
Refresh.
Oh, I think our... Can you still hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
I can.
I think our internet was, like, fucky for a hot sec.
Yeah, it said I lost
Connection?
to
Yeah,
the
same here.
20 server.
Yeah, so, Amity, you see this room that's just full of posts that are, like, distinctly wooden in some way, just kind of surrounding the room. Some of them have, like, ropes or chains dangling from them, but there doesn't really appear to be anyone or anything here.
What do I roll to kind of figure out if something has been here or like what this might be in general?
Investigation.
I will assist.
Yeah. So now you have
No,
advantage.
you won't because I rolled a 2.
Well,
You have advantage.
advantage because that's what the assistance does.
I
That's
got you,
right.
boy. I got
This isn't D&D. Hey, I got a 17.
Hey.
But it is D&D.
Well, yeah, but it's not D&D previous where it's like, oh, your assist gives you like a +1 to your roll or something.
Yeah. Yeah, so 17's pretty good. Yeah, like pretty easily you can tell that these are some sort of holding posts meant to tether creatures of one sort or another.
Oh, that's fucked.
And in terms of like people having been here recently,
Very recently.
oh,
I'm gonna say you find some. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Just like a little bit of, like, blood. Not a lot. Like, it's not like someone was killed here or anything. Just like little bits. And it is still liquid.
Oh, ooh.
okay. Well, before this room decides to close its mouth on me or something like that, I'm gonna exit hastily and relay that information that somebody has been there recently.
Interesting. Oh, something like. Oh, sorry. You go ahead.
How many posts are there? I can't see if there's one. If you guys are on Roll20 or not. On like, how many posts are there?
14.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, thank you.
Something I kind of slipped my mind. We mentioned that the crystals are warm, but like, what's the general atmosphere of this place? Like, is it stuffy? Like, is it humid?
It's
Like,
very humid.
okay.
Very humid, like, just uncomfortably warm. Just barely.
Yeah.
Gross. Okay. Then I will take insult from oh god, it won't let me like select us without doing a little ping. Take a peek, see down. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, what you see here makes a lot less sense than what you saw up there. So you have this room. I'll just reveal the whole thing. You see all these like little pedestals that appear to be empty, kind of positioned around the room, and then there's just a hole in the middle of the room that you feel like a faint wind coming from of some kind, and just a whole lot of like sliding metal. It sounds like.
Disconcerting.
something of a yeah, like swirling metal.
Shit.
Ooh, that's a
Hey,
grind
who has
for
the?
y'all.
Can you keep that song?
I was gonna say like like fan blades. I guess can I take a? I don't want to like this over the token overlaps a little bit, but I just want to like take a peek like over the edge. Is it just like dark? Oh, did I lose y'all?
I can
you're
hear you
still-
just fine.
No, it was a thing happening.
Oh. Oh.
You are gonna die.
I know.
Not in the game.
Oh.
Oh.
Why'd you sound so disappointed there?
Well, mostly because I didn't realize what was being said right away, so I was like, it
Just
was
like,
kind
oh
of like,
no,
a-
it's not in the game.
yeah.
It's like, it's a fucking vibe. It's like, hey God, you going to hell if I'm gay? No, son. Oh. It's like the
Oh.
exact same energy from that.
It was honest, honest to God, it was mostly just like a late recognition. Oh, like oh, I see what you mean.
It's okay. You're valid either way.
Oh, Stalder isn't going to be fit. Oh.
He might still,
I
yeah.
just missed my fucking
See, I still
butts.
make it wrecked. I don't know.
Damn it.
Anything's
God
possible.
damn it.
Can't wait to fall down this pit.
What did you say? You were falling down the pit? It's fine. Something was going on. Don't worry about it. Yeah, it sure is a pit.
Yep. Is it just like dark?
Yep.
Can't see very far. All right.
Nope.
Anything to
Wanna
note about
toss a
the
fire down
pedestal?
there?
Hmm.
Oh, go on.
So the pedestals look like they had something on them.
Sorry. I did ask that.
Stuff still going down?
Goodbye.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, the pedestals had something on them. It does not anymore. There's like little indents, like marks of dust, things like that.
Okay. Well, seeing nothing of. Maybe it's strange, but not really anything notable. Rejoin the others. I have a feeling we will be back here, however. So.
Probably.
Oh man, I'm gonna freeze out.
Don't die. But yeah. I mean, I guess we'll move on to this door because, like,
Hmm.
we are approaching the door.
Yep, you are. It is closed.
Push that
This-
motherfucker right open.
yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't think there's anything we're particularly like. I guess initial stuff. Like, do we hear anything behind the door?
I'm gonna go with howling wind.
All right. I push the door open.
All right.
Try to.
So, the door very slowly creaks open. And you can see what appears to be an ornately tiled floor. Opened into a very well-sculpted cavern, leading forward. And we're going to take a break for like 15 minutes.
Okay.
Cool, I'll be on the bus by then.
All right.
Alrighty.
All right.
So, just a little bit.
I have something to clean off.
TLDR of what I missed.
I can.
Cool. If you have to go though, like do something, I totally don't mind.
No, I'm good.
I would just like to know.
TLDR version, we managed to figure out the puzzle to basically open the portal. which took a lot of assistance, but we got there. Uh, that was honestly like a big portion of like the beginning. And then we went to hell. Chiefs went into that like the room full of paintings. Oh god, whoever drew that, I don't like that.
I don't like it either.
I, I'm gonna scroll back down. I don't like that. Um, Chiefs went into that room. Saw a figure in one of the paintings. Moved around the room. Saw the figure again. As if it had, like it had moved through the paintings. He threw his knife into the painting to try and like kill it, cut the painting, something. Knife goes through the painting, like into the painting, and like lands in the grass in the painting. And he screamed, so we came running. Didn't really see anything. Decided to move on. Cheeps had a painting in his bag, and the thing came through his fucking bag, threw the painting in his bag, and grabbed him. And then we all flipped our shit.
I screamed. Honest to
Like,
God.
Jesus Christ. It was so scary. And then
Interesting.
we
Wait, do you want to fucking fight? God damn. Bill.
who are you shouting at?
I'm fighting this wind. It's so bad right now.
Oh
yeah,
my god.
it's
I
like
forgot
40-mile-an-hour gusts right now. It's
Exactly. And I'm sitting outside. It's fucking freezing, and the wind is just a bitch.
crazy. Yeah. It's like so it's blowing so hard that it's like hard to breathe.
Yes, exactly. I just want to get on this goddamn bus. I want to go home.
Oh my god. So we kind of
Sorry.
managed to.
Yeah, I'm totally fine. Who the fuck was that?
They're just like shouting down the street. It's just like, hey, are you all right?
Yeah, there was a dude who just kind of stopped. He's like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I don't even know who it was.
A concerned passerby. Oh.
So basically, painting from hell. And
Yeah,
that's just kind of what I missed?
Yeah, we defeated fucking Bendy. For the time being, I don't know. I'm worried about that. I don't know. Like, does dispel magic? Is that like permanent?
Yeah.
Technically, yes. I think.
It doesn't
Unless
stop
it's,
them
like-
from re-upping the spell though.
Yeah.
All right, we'll just
Like,
hope.
they can redo it just fine. It's just kind of like, it just stops it for the time being.
We will hope that that thing just stays fucking down, because that just nope.
Yeah, I
No.
I had to
I
cross.
think I still have the bag of holding if you were just kind of want to yeet it in and just let it kind of sit in eternity.
Jesus, do I?
Does it? I don't know if that would like. I don't know if we want to keep that thing at all.
I
Okay.
would prefer to
And-
burn it.
Like if we
I
come
have
back,
fire. I
I
have
too,
many fire.
I too wield the power of fire. So
I can use a 5th level flame strike on it and just like incinerate
I had to
it.
use a 5th level dispel magic just to fucking kill that thing.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay.
we did not want to deal with that any longer than we had to, so we didn't.
No, I literally like in character and out of character yelled at Staldar and was like, "Hit it with your sword! Hit it with your sword!"
As it's like grappling Cheeps, like trying to
Yeah.
pull Cheeps into the fucking like. Oh my god, bad.
It was bad. Yeah, it was awful.
This God. Cole goes, "You feel something rustle in your bag," and we all just like, ah! We just like lost it. God,
Because we
Don't
knew
like that.
immediately. Shit.
bad, awful, awful, awful. Whoever drew this made like,
Wait,
bad.
what is it? What is it? I want to see it.
I'll take a little screenshot for you.
You don't want to
You can
see
send
it.
it. You can
wanna
send
see
it to me personally, so you don't have to toss in the chat. I want to
Well,
see
we've
it
all
real
seen
bad.
it already. You can't make us unsee it, Dahlia.
I don't give a fuck about you guys. I want to see it.
Yeah.
Here, I've got it.
Oh god damn it! It's gonna take forever to load.
Shit.
Ugh! Come on. What the hell is this? Oh, in the meantime, I'll get my dice out though.
Oh my gosh. Here.
Yeah, it's still at 0%.
God.
Awesome.
I'm in the middle of Skokie, aka buttfuck nowhere, so I'm dead. Okay, real question. Blue and purple D20 or pink sparkle D20?
Pink sparkle.
Pink sparkle? Okay. Oh, it's okay. It says it's 100% loaded, but it's still loading. Amazing.
Fucking Discordio.
Oh, interesting. I like that.
Awful.
It's
I
bad.
love
Scary.
it. It's like a really cute little Mr. Game & Watch. I love him.
Nope.
I love him. I wanted to become friends with him. He's a little goopy boy. He's great. Oh, fuck yes, there's the bus. What the fuck is...
I'm actually gonna. So I've got a little bit of extra prep to do actually right now. Extra prep that I need to do. I think we're gonna wait a little bit. Caroline, how long do you think it'll take until you get like home?
if you're saying anything, you're cutting out a lot for me.
How long do you think it'll take for you to get home?
30 to 40 minutes. So,
Okay. No worries. In that case, this might be a good place to call it for the night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I know. But the next bit's gonna be a lot. And I do still need to do some amount of prep work for it.
okay, that's fair.
But thank you all for participating in this session, even if briefly. I'll be uploading the recording of this session literally as soon as we stop recording. And then y'all can listen to it again if you want to.
Yeah, that would be great for me, so I can like catch up and like.
Yeah, you can see everyone solve a puzzle. All right.
Oh, I